Yeah, and welcome on a lesson on how to play major pentatonic. Now, first off, I want to tell you I'm super freaking stoked. I've got two brand new products, and they both have to do with major pentatonic playing. But the cool thing about these two is now it's level 1 and level 2. So no matter where you're at in the pentatonic spectrum of learning major pentatonic, there's something for you. Level 1, 6.5 hours long. Level 2, almost 10. So there's tons and tons and tons of examples on how to utilize the scale better, and more importantly, how to become melodic. So check that out for sure. All the information's down below. Click the links. It'll take you to where you need to go. If you're interested in supporting the cause, I love you. If not, take some couple of tips, and this will give you an idea of what's in those products. So if, get some money or whatever, sell your brother or your, car. I'm just kidding. If you come upon money and you want to support the cause, that would be awesome. If not, and you can't, I totally understand. But I'm going to give you a couple tools right now on how to do just what's in those videos. So let's check it out. So if we have a classic rock riff like... I first need to know, when I play major pentatonic, can I play it the same way? And no, I can't. I can't do like I would, a typical minor pentatonic lick would be. That's not going to sound good over this A chord. I got to play it differently. So it's learning. The first thing is learning how to do that. But why did I choose those notes to begin with? Because the chords were right there. So when I went, it sounds great over an A chord because I just hit 2 of the notes of an A chord. I hit 2 more notes right there. The major third, the fifth, and then here's the root. So again, like we go over all the time, it's learning where those quote unquote chord tones or target notes are. Now that's great. But if you want the magic, where the magic notes are, you got to know how to color in and outside of the lines. So check this out. G is not a chord in a typical A major progression. Okay? Now, what I want to do is, I want to learn how to color in those lines. So if I got to hit G, I got to find, okay, where are the notes of a G chord in my A major pentatonic scale? That note works because that's the third of my G chord. So in position 1, yeah, it kind of works. Position 2 works better, but we got to use another version of a G chord. So position 2 would be these notes. Okay, I have a G chord right here. Now, the only note that's in the strict A major pentatonic scale is this one. Okay? These 2 notes are coloring outside the lines just a little bit. So if our traditional position is this, I can use this one, and that's inside my position 2 box, but then I got to go out a little bit right here. But in doing that, I'm hitting a G major arpeggio, and every single note I just hit is the notes of this G chord. So it's gonna be melodic because you're using all the notes of the chords. Now, the next chord in the progression, if you remember, is D. So I have a D that covers position 2. Okay? So this note and this note, awesome position 2 of A major pentatonic scale. Awesome notes to use over a D chord. So if I was... I could totally do that, and that would sound awesome. That's a great place to start. But again, if I want to color outside of the lines and use something that's a little more, I don't even know what word I'm searching for, creative. I can pretend I'm going to do a D suspended chord like you hear a million times in songs. So it'd be... this is a suspended fourth into a D. So in my mind, I'm thinking, well, I can do that with the notes right here because this note is right there in position 2. So I can bend to this note and get a cool sound. So if I put those two ideas right there together, again, we're in position 2, A major pentatonic, colored outside the lines just a bit over. We're going to have sounds super melodic, right? And then, okay, so we totally covered G, D, and our next chord is an A. Now where I ended up, there just happened to be one of the notes of the A chord where I resolved to. Right there, okay? So now in my mind I have to think the A chord is coming, okay? So we've used position 2, we've covered G, D. I have an A chord right here. Now the cool thing about this particular shape is that chord actually resides right smack dab in the middle of a minor pentatonic, position 1, which I'm sure all of you know and love. We're going to borrow some of those notes and come down and resolve to the end of our lick, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off sounding a little bit tough because I like a little angst to go along with the happiness because it breaks it up a little bit. You know, it's not all too like, woo, nursery rhyme. It's like a fist. It's like pushing one of the kids in the nursery line. Everything's happy, it's cool, and then bam, like a little tension, like one of the kids goes out of line, and then you go right back in. Oh, okay, Johnny, get back into the line. Everything will be cool. So this is what we're doing. We're pushing Johnny out of the line, and then he's going to come back in. So we got 5th fret right here of the G and the B. And then we're going to hammer on to the major 3rd of our A chord. Okay, so we got hit the root note again, so we're going back into a note that works perfect over both. Then drop down to 5 because we're following our A minor pentatonic scale right here. Slide down, so that's A, 7, 5, 3. That's all very minor. Okay, so we've definitely colored outside of the boxes and we're trying to get ourselves back in to resolve. Okay, so we went safe note, minor, sliding down, so we're out, back in as soon as I hammer on to the 4th fret of the A, which is, and I can jump right down to my A chord, which is the chord that we're still on, and resolve perfectly with the A note. Okay, so we got right? So suddenly you have a classic rock feel. It's very melody driven, and it also uses the scale. So you're learning how to play. See, the thing with just learning a major pentatonic, which is so amazing. There's so many cool amazing licks that you can learn just playing strict major pentatonic, but the gold is when you go outside and you incorporate the chord tones of the progression as well. And the ones that don't fit in the scale, again, like the G. Okay, so we can take that same idea. So thinking, again, where we're kind of using position 2 as our starting point, we used that G, this D, and this A, and ended up on this A. Okay, now those were all in positions 2 and 1 of major pentatonic. Now, my favorite positions, I think, I would have to say, is positions 3 and 4. You get all those cool Southern rock bends. All that cool stuff resides right in position 3 and 4. Okay, so where in position 3, which is this right here, that's position 3, position 4 is right here. Okay, so where in those two positions are the G, the D, and the A? Okay, well, our G, same spot as we used before, right here. Our D is right here if we're moving up in positions 3 and 4, and our A is right here. Okay, now you also can hit G right here, here, and here. Okay, so G, D, A. Those are cool for like... licks like that. But I'm going to start out a little bit more traditional. And do a lick kind of like that. Okay, so we're going to go from the G, starting point right here, sliding up, 7 to 9, and then we're in a note out of the 3rd position. Okay, so we went outside the lines, into the lines. Okay, now this one isn't out of position 3 strictly, but we're gonna borrow it. Okay, so because it's part of our G chord. Okay, so we got this note, right? So we went from here, covered the G chord. Now when we go to here, this note is part of the D chord, which is coming next. So if I slide up and use position 4, which is this, right? Color outside the line again and tag that note because of my D chord right there. And we got... go back in the lines, right? Because that's the note of our position right there. Position 4. I can bend into an A chord right here on the B string. And do a very cool Southern rock influenced bend. And resolve into my A chord that's right here because that's what's coming next. We had to go from D to A. So we got G, right? Because our G chord's here. So we have covered a G here and a G here into our transition to the D here. Okay, so we went. Back in the lines, and then I'm going to bend up, which is, this is all in the lines right here. So I took the B12, bent up to the C sharp, which is the major 3rd of our A chord. E, come back down, and resolve to our A note, which is right here in position 4. So this one we you know, colored outside the lines a little bit, but we used a lot of the traditional shapes of the scale. So now, since we hang on that A chord twice as long, you can do the same kind of thing we did down here. You can do that same kind of idea in position 4, right? Because this right here, the octave of that is right here. So you can do that same kind of idea right here. And we're going to walk down essentially the same way, but an octave higher. So we got... that's 7, or excuse me, 8 to 9 on the E. And then we can go 10 to 8 because our A is right here. We're going to slide in here. Okay? And then I'm going to do the same thing we did to start off our... I'm going to use that same trick, minor 3rd to major 3rd, and then just hit the A up there this time. So we got... so that whole riff right, so major pentatonic is an incredible sound, and I swear when I started learning major pentatonic, my melodic sense skyrocketed. Not only that, but it helped me play minor pentatonic better, because then I really started to focus more on where those notes were inside my minor pentatonic scales too. Before, I let my ear run wild, and we learned so many licks that are based in minor pentatonic that I think we have an easier time assimilating how to play, right, in minor, so it's a little bit easier. But when you really start to apply the principles in major, which is the melodic scale, it really helps in minor as well. So major pentatonic, spend some time in it. I mean, just dive deep, because it is an amazing tool to help you become a lot more melodic. So I hope that helps. You guys are awesome. Again, if you want to support the cause, check the links below. I would be stoked. You're amazing. We'll catch you next time.